Hello everyone, welcome to StudyIQ. Okay, take a minute and solve this question, 1999 question. Okay, how will you solve? See, this train from Ahmedabad to Chennai leaves A at 6:30 a.m. Okay, so let's keep this as Ahmedabad to Chennai. So train A leaves at 6:30. Okay, and travels 50 kilometer. Okay, and travels at 60 kilometer per hour, not 60, 50 kilometer per hour towards Baroda, situated 100 kilometer away. Okay, so the speed is 50 kph. Now, what is happening at 7 p.m.? At 7 a.m., another express leaves Baroda towards Ahmedabad and travel at 40 kilometer per hour. Okay, so from somewhere here, another express is coming towards Ahmedabad at 40 kilometer per hour. Okay, so this is happening at 7. Okay, so at 7 a.m. Okay, now what else is said? At 7:30 a.m. Okay, the traffic controller at Baroda realizes that both the trains are running on the same track. Okay, now how much time does he have to avert a head-on collision? Okay, see, the question is like this. One train is starting from here towards C, and in between there is a station. So from there another train is actually starting. Okay, so the speeds are given. Okay, and traveling in opposite direction. Okay, one is starting at 6:30, one is starting at 7 a.m. 7:30 they have realized that this is moving in the same track. Okay, now what we need to see is what is the distance covered by both the train at 7:30. Okay, see, when you say collision, it means meeting. And when you say meeting, if it is in linear track, what do you mean? If they are in opposite direction, it's actually you are covering one distance together. That distance, that means Ahmedabad to Baroda, you are covering. Okay, both of them together covering that particular distance. Okay, then only you will meet. Okay, when you travel in the opposite direction. So let's see how much distance they traveled. Now we know this person traveled 1 hour, right? At 7:30 means the first person traveled 1 hour. So he covered, what is the speed given? So his speed is 50 km per hour. So he traveled 50 km. Okay. Now another person, he started at 7. So 7:30 means 30 minutes. Okay. So at 7:30 that means he took 30 minutes. The other person took 1 hour. So in 30, you should not write all these things. Okay. All these things are easy. Directly you will get. Only for your understanding, I am writing all these things. I am even drawing this. This is not required. That's actually waste of time. Okay. So 30 minutes. What is the speed? Speed is 40 km per hour. So 20 km is the distance covered. So as of now they have covered 70, right? 70 km together. That means to meet how much distance they are supposed to cover, they are supposed to cover 100 km together, right? Because this point is 100 km away from A. Okay, A and B is situated 100 km away. So to meet, they both together should have traveled 100 km. So now how much they need to cover to meet? That is 30 km. Okay, so the distance that they need to cover is 30. Now what is the speed? We need to know the time taken to cover this distance, right? So that is the time that you have. The time taken by both the trains together to cover this distance. So both the train means you need to consider relative speed. And when you travel in the opposite direction, what is the relative speed? You need to add both speeds, right? So 50 plus 40, that is 90. So that means 1/3 of an hour you have. Okay. And that means 20 minutes. Okay. 1/3 of an hour means you have 20 minutes to prevent a collision. So I hope you understood the story. So one train, this is not relevant now. Okay, just take it as one train is starting from here. Okay, at 6:30 at this speed. Another train is starting from here at 7 o'clock, 40 km per hour. Forget about train or anything. Just two people are running in the same track. Okay, so here the train is running in the same track. That's why they are making this question, right? And this distance is given as 100. So here they are talking about collision. In our language, we will say that it is meeting. So one meeting means if they are traveling in the opposite direction, they are covering one distance together, right? So 100 km is what they are supposed to cover together. In that we have seen in 1 hour this person is covering 50, the other person is covering 20, so 70 is covered. Okay, how much is left out to meet? 30. And what is the speed? Speed is 90. Why 90? Because 50 plus 40, this is relative speed, right? So when you travel in the opposite direction, 50 plus 40, that is 1/3 of an hour or 20 minutes. So your answer for this question is B for Bombay. Now, forget about this train case and everything. Just consider this as a linear track. Okay. One person is moving from here. Another person is coming from here. Okay. So these 2 points are P and Q. A moves from P. B moves from Q. They travel in the opposite direction. So when you will say that they are meeting, one among this will have obviously more speed, right? If both of them have equal speed, what will happen is they will always meet at the center. Because see, if they're starting together, especially if they're starting together, this person will cover half, this person also will cover half when they meet. Okay. So you will not get questions like that. So the speed will be different. So if let's suppose this person is having more speed, this person covered this much only, he covered more distance. So whatever it is, the speeds are different or same. When they meet, they together cover one distance. So this much of the distance is covered by A, this much of the distance is covered by B. So A plus B together they covered one distance. That's the idea. Okay. Now what will happen after that? This person will go and reach here. This person will come and reach here. Okay. And sometimes you will get questions like this process continued indefinitely, or they will ask you question, what is the distance covered when they meet for the 5th time, 6th time, 7th time, or what is the time taken, or where they meet. Okay, so let's suppose this is 100. Okay, this is 100. Now this person after reached here, this person reached here. That means he covered this much distance, he covered this much distance. So one more distance is covered, but there is no meeting. After that, what will happen? This guy will come back, right? And this guy will also come back. So they will meet. So when they meet for the second time, they actually covered how much distance? See, this is one distance, this is second distance, this is the third distance. So first meeting, they covered a distance. Second meeting, they cover 3D. Third meeting, they cover 5D. Like that it will go. 7D, 9D. Okay, it will go just like that. So now onwards, you don't want to draw those diagram and you don't want to see everything. You just need to know that if it is first meeting, 1D. Second meeting, 3D. Third meeting, 5D. Okay, so nth meeting, 2n minus 1 distance covered. And if distance is given as 100, 2n minus 1 into 100. So 7th meeting means 13 distance is covered. Why? 2 into 7, 14, 14 minus 1, 13. 13 distance is covered. Now, this distance is covered by both of them together. So, if the speed is given, like in this case, okay, if the speed is given, you will get the speed ratio. And if they are starting at the same time, the time taken is same. So, when the time taken is same and the speed ratio is given, we know the distance and speed is directly proportional. So once you know the distance, you can see what is the distance covered by first person, what is the second distance covered by the second person. So you can also understand the meeting point. Or if speed is given, right? Speed is given, and once you know the distance, if the question is about time, still you can solve it. So I hope this is clear for you. Now again, in a linear track, let's suppose two people are moving in the same direction. Okay, so A and B move in the same direction from P to Q. So if they have equal speed, they will always move together. The question will be, they have a different speed, right? So A will move like this, he is faster. So B will just go like this. So when I say they meet, what is actually mean by meeting? The faster person will reach here, okay, and then he will come back and he will meet the slower person somewhere. So effectively, faster person alone covered one distance, and here you can see together they covered one distance. So if you travel in the same direction, one meeting means you covered two distance together. Second meeting means you covered 4 distance. Third meeting means you covered 6 distance. So nth meeting you cover 2n distance. Okay, now onwards this is going to be very simple. You should think in this way, whether they are moving the same direction or opposite direction. So if it is same direction, okay, nth meeting the distance covered is 2n distance. Nth meeting 2n distance. If it is opposite direction, nth meeting means 2n minus 1 distance will be covered by both of them together. So once you know the distance, you can tell where they meet and when they meet, if you also know the speed. Okay, so I hope this is clear for all of you. Now onwards, there is no point in, writing all this or drawing all these things, right? Okay, take a minute and solve this question, 2000 question, which is related to boards and streams, which we have already discussed the concepts earlier. Okay. Okay, how will you solve this question? See, there is a boats and stream question. So the basic concepts that we have discussed is, let's suppose speed of the boat in still water is x and speed of the stream is y. Okay, if we know this, what is the upstream speed? If you are going against the stream, the speed will be less. Okay, so that will be x minus y. So there will be a reduction in your original speed because of the impact of the stream. And if you are coming down, if downstream, there will be an increase in speed. So you will get an advantage of the speed of the stream. So this is a basic concept. Okay. Now let's suppose upstream speed and downstream speed is given. Let's suppose this was A and this was B. The speed of the boat and speed of the stream you can find by using A plus B by 2 and A minus B by 2. So if the upstream speed and downstream speed is given, you can find speed of the boat and speed of the stream. Similarly, if speed of the boat and speed of the stream is given, you can find the upstream speed and downstream speed. Okay. Now based on this only you will get questions. Now let's look at this question. Okay. So usual rowing rate, Rahul can travel 12 miles downstream in a certain river in 6 hours less than it takes him to travel the same distance upstream. So he takes 6 hours less when he come down. The distance is same in this case. That's the point that you need to keep in mind. Okay. So distance is same or distance is constant. So upstream, the time taken is more. Okay, basically downstream 6 hours less means upstream 6 hours more. That's what you can understand. Okay. Now, but if he could double his usual rowing rate for this 24 miles round trip, see this is 24 miles round trip, the downstream 20 miles would then take only 1 hour less than the upstream 12 miles. Okay. So if he double the speed, then what is going to happen? Downstream will take only 1 hour less. Earlier speed 6 hours less, now 1 hour less. Okay, what is the speed of the current in miles per hour? Okay, so speed of the stream is what you need to find out. So very easy question. You just need to see, once you know this, you can simply solve this equation and you can solve it. Okay, so let's see how you're going to solve it. So here the information given is actually with respect to time. So we know time is equal to distance by speed, right? So the time is equal to distance by speed, and we know the distance also, right? So what is given in the first case? See, in the first case what is given? Time is 6 hours less. Okay, so what you can do is, if you assume the upstream speed as x minus y, okay, and downstream speed as x plus y, which we have already discussed. Okay, so speed is this and speed is this, and we know the distance, which is equal to 12. Okay, so can we find the time taken, at least in terms of x and y? So time taken, so t downstream time taken will be distance, which is equal to 12 divided by x plus y. Okay, and upstream, that we can mark it as tu, which is equal to 12 divided by x minus y. So this is the time taken, right? Now what is given? What is the 6 hour? 6 hours is basically when you travel downstream you take 6 hours less. Okay, so now you can write it as that 6 is equal to 12 divided by x minus y, which is the time taken upstream, minus 12 divided by x plus y, which is the time taken downstream. So time taken upstream minus time taken downstream is what actually given us this 6. I hope this is clear for all of you. Okay, and from this you can easily get it as y divided by x square minus y square is equal to 1 by 4, or you can write it as y is equal to x square minus y square divided by 4. Why we are looking for y is basically because this is what we need to find out. Okay, so y is the speed of the stream, and they're asking about speed of the stream. Now let's look at the second situation. In the second situation, what happens is the speed is doubled, right? So his speed, that is x, which is doubled, so x becomes 2x, but the distance is same. Stream speed is also the same, that means the speed of the current is the same. So this, what will happen in this case? This will become 12 divided by 2x minus y. Okay, so this is what the upstream now. This is a tu when he doubled the speed, that is the second case. And what is t downstream? 12 divided by 2x, because the speed is doubled but the speed of the current remained the same, right? And this difference is given as 1 hour. Okay, this difference is given as 1 hour. So from this you can easily write it as 2y divided by 4x square minus y square, taking LCM and all. Okay, which is equal to 1 by 12. So from this you can write y is equal to 4x square minus y square divided by 24. So see, this is obviously a round 2 question because you need to make 2 equations and you need to solve it. Okay, so this is one equation, this is the second one. Now from this 2 equation, what you can, if you equate, because this is y and this is y, when you equate you will get 2x square is equal to 5y square. So what is x square? X square is equal to 5 by 2 y square. Okay, so we got this relation. Now what you can do is take equation 1 or take equation 2 and substitute instead of x square 5 by 2 y square. Then you will get an equation in one variable, then you can solve it easily. Okay, so what you can do is I am putting this in equation 1. So when you put this in equation 1, you get y is equal to 3 by 2 y square divided by 4, which means y is equal to 8 by 3. So which one you will pick? You will pick D as the answer. So I hope you understood. See, the basic concepts are like this. Boats and stream, speed of the boat is x and speed of the stream is y. Downstream is x plus y, upstream is x minus y. So this is upstream and this is downstream. Downstream speed is more because you get the advantage of the stream. Now based on this only you can solve this question. Let's take the first case. What they have given us, time taken upstream and time taken downstream, if you take the difference, it is 6, right? Because time taken downstream is 6 or less. So TU, that is time taken upstream, minus TD, that is time taken downstream, is equal to 6. And we know time is equal to distance by speed. So distance we know 12. Speed we know upstream x minus y. X is what? The original speed. Y is what? The speed of the stream. And y is what we need to find out. Minus 12 divided by x plus y. Okay, that is downstream. So you can get y, one expression. Then second scenario, speed is doubled. Everything else remained the same. From that you got the second equation. Then what we need is y. So what you are doing is you are getting a relation between x and y, and here x square and y square, and substituting x square as y square, or instead of x square you are putting something in the form of y, so that this equation will become equation in one variable, and then you can solve it easily. So you'll get y is equal to 8 by 3. Obviously a round 2 question that you need to understand the moment you see the question, because see, 2 cases are given. You need to solve the first case and you need to solve the second case, and then only you can get this question. So if you have a very good calculation skills and you know how to solve this faster, it is fine. Otherwise always keep it for round 2. In my opinion, this is a round 2 question. Okay, take a minute and solve this question, 2001 question, which is again related to meeting points. Okay, so we have already discussed about the concepts and the shortcuts. Let's look at this question. I'll try to solve it in a conventional way anyway. Okay, so what they're saying, a train X departs from station A at 11 a.m. Okay, so from station A at 11 a.m. train X departs, okay, to station B, which is 180 kilometer. Okay, so train Y departs from station B. Okay, Y is going from here, okay, at 11 a.m. So both are starting at same time. Okay, both are starting at 11 a.m. for station A. Train X travels at an average speed of 70 km per hour. So this is 70 kph. Okay, and does not stop anywhere until it arrives at a station B. Train Y travels at a speed of 50 kph. Okay, so 50 kph, but has a stop for 15 minutes at station C. Okay, so somewhere here station C, which is 60 km away from station B. So 60 km away from station B is station C. Now what you need to find out, what is the distance to the nearest in kilometer from station A to the point where they meet. Okay, so from here at which point they meet, that is the question. Okay, now let me see the time taken by this train, this Y, to reach this point C. Okay, so what is the time taken? So time taken by B to reach C is what I'm going to find out. Okay, so we know the speed is 60. That is no, that is the distance, right? This distance is 60. So distance by speed, we know the speed which is given, average speed is 50. Okay, so time taken will be 60 by 50, or we can write it as 6 by 5 hour. Okay, so 6 by 5 hour. Then what they're saying is there is a 15-minute stop at the station. Okay, so 15 minute means I can write it as 1 by 4 of an hour, right? So if you add this, it's like, so the train B or train Y reached here and stopped for 15 minutes. Okay, so this much time was taken before the train Y starts from C. Now let's see by this time how much distance X would have covered. Okay, so I hope you understood this much. So this is time. So till this time, how much distance X would have covered? What is the speed of X? That is 70. Okay, so X would have covered, or train X, this was train Y. So train X would have covered, speed is given 70 into time. This time is what we need to take. Okay, so when you take LCM, you will get it as 29 by 20. So when you do this calculation, you'll get 101.5 kilometer. So train X covered 101.5 kilometer, train Y covered 60 kilometer, okay, in this time, and train Y is going to start from C at this time. Okay, so they are definitely not meeting because 60 is covered, 101 is covered. The total distance, if they want to meet, they have to cover 180, right? So the distance is given as 180. So together, if they cover 180, then only they will meet. So as of now, one person covered 101 and the other person covered 60. So not meeting till now. Okay, so the meeting is actually happening after the train Y starts from point C. Okay, so only after that, so somewhere here the meeting is starting. That is clear. Somewhere here only the meeting will start. Okay, now let's see where they are going to meet. So what we understood is these two trains will not cross each other by the time train Y finishes its stoppage at this point, right? Stoppage at station C. What you can do is let them meet after TR. Okay, so let's assume that they meet after TR. Then we can write it as 70T plus 15 into T minus 1 by 4, which is equal to 180. Why I wrote like this? What is the logic? Because this concept I have already discussed. When they meet for the first time, when you are moving in a linear track, they together covered the total distance, right? So we are writing the distance here. 70 is the speed of the person. T is the time taken to meet. 50 is the speed of the person. T minus 1 by 4 is the time taken. Why minus 1 by 4? Because 1 by 4 hour stoppage is there, 15 minutes. And we definitely understood after that only they are meeting. That's why we are able to write this. Okay, so which is equal to 180. So time taken to meet is actually T means, with this is how we can write. We know the distance covered by this person is 70T. This person is 50 into T minus 1 by 4. And now you can find T. Okay, time taken to meet. So when you solve this, you'll get T is equal to 192.5 divided by 120, which is equal to, or let's keep this calculation aside. Okay, you may get, don't do complete calculations in every step. Okay, somewhere things will get cancelled out. Let's see what we need to do, because T is not your answer. T is not what you need to find out. So we don't want to do it completely. So what we need is actually the distance, right? So distance from A is what we need. Okay, so we got the time taken to meet. Okay, now this is the time taken to meet. We know the speed of the person, or that person starting from this point. Okay, A, that is train X. Okay, so that is 70. So what you can do is 70 into 192.5 divided by 120 is the distance. Okay, the 0 is getting cancelled out. So when you do this calculation, approximately 112 kilometer is what you will get. Okay, 112 kilometer. So answer for this question is A for Ahmedabad. So I hope you understood how we solve this question. It's again a round 2 question. So one, because it is slightly lengthy. Second, because these things is what you need to do. So the moment you see this question, you will understand that. Okay, but again you will get the answer for sure. That's the advantage if you are very good at calculation. See the story, I hope you understood. Okay, so one person is coming from here, the other person is coming from here. Meeting means together they covered one distance. Okay, that's the concept that you need to remember. So here it is 180. So both of them together should travel 180 kilometer. That is when they will meet. Okay, now what we understood is there is a stop here. Okay, so we understood that the time taken by the train Y, okay, train Y to reach C, because C distance is given 60. So time taken is 60 divided by speed, that we know 50. Okay, so time taken we understood. Then there is a halt also. So we understood that the train is going to start from C after how much time? 6 by 5 plus 1 by 4 of an hour. So after this only the train Y is going to start from C. We need to see where train X is at this time. Okay, so when you do that, you understood that train X covered this much, 101.5 kilometer. So in our assumption, or the ideas, if they need to meet, they have to travel 180. So at the point C, when the train Y is going to start from C, they are not meeting. So the meeting will definitely happen here. Okay, so that we understood. So what we need is, we are assuming that the time taken to meet is T. Anyway, time will be constant if you are meeting, both of them will meet, okay, at the same time only. So we assume that the time is T, and we know time will be, so once we assume that this time is T, we know the distance, because the distance traveled by the the train X will be 70 into T. Why? Because 70 is the speed into time. Okay. Then second will be 50 into T minus 1 by 4. Why? Because 1 by 4 halt is there. And together they are starting 180. So distance covered by 2% is what you are equating. So together 180. Now when you solve this, you get time. So once you get the time taken to meet like this, okay, what you need to do is, you need to find the distance traveled by any one person. Okay, so it's better to travel. It is better to find the distance traveled by train X. So speed 70 into time which you got. If you are finding it from the other side, see, the problem is, you will be able to do that 50 into T minus 1 by 4 is what you need to do. That calculation will be difficult. That's why you better take this one only. Okay, so answer is 112 kilometers from this point. Okay, so somewhere here.